I know how this sounds, but after one single review of drinking something that isn't Monster, I'm so glad to be back reviewing a Monster energy drink again. Which I know sounds very hail corporate or whatever the terminology is. But like, I drank that Sonic energy drink yesterday, guys, in my last review, and it was okay, but it just wasn't Monster, which, like I say, makes me sound like such an addict. But it is what it is, and I'm here today to review another Monster drink. As I've said, Monster's Absolutely Zero, which I think might be about to change can design very soon. At least in America, that's the case, because I've seen like this like weird, wonderful kind of can design floating around online. But I'd say for the foreseeable future, we're gonna have this plain black Monster with like this blue M in the middle. And I'm happy enough because this is one that I've seen, for a long time. I actually think it must be the very first ever sugar-free Monster Energy drink because it's not got the ultra branding. It's not like kind of spit it out, Matthew. It's not kind of like gimmicky as if this is another energy drink that's sugar free. It kind of just feels like their version of Red Bull's zero sugar drink. But I'll read the description here, and you'll see what I mean, because the description basically makes it sound as if this is the very first sugar-free energy drink. It really does, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna give this a read and try and be dramatic. People have been blowing up our inbox for years asking for a zero-calorie Monster. We got it, but this ain't soda pop. Dude! Making a zero-calorie, zero-sugar drink that's good enough to earn that Monster M ain't that easy. Finally, with a retooled energy blend, new sweetener system, and after hundreds of failed flavours, we absolutely got it right. Monster Absolutely Zero with B vitamins and caffeine to help reduce fatigue, increase alertness, and motivate you to work. Play harder, so generally you feel pretty damn good. 0 calories, zero sugar. More Monster magic! Absolutely. Guaranteed. So they've gone for a real strong gimmick here of this is our very first ever sugar-free Monster, where we put a lot of effort into this. We did hundreds of flavors. We weren't going to release it unless it was absolutely perfect. Was it perfect whenever they did they did all these incredible sugar-free versions after it? Look, I'll read it and we'll find out together, guys. Sorry, not I'll read it and find it together. I will try it and we'll find out together. So this is the best way to sort of look at this is probably as their attempt to get the exact flavour of their original Monster, but to take out all the sugar and all the sort of bad things. I think there's less carbs in it. There's 0 calories, obviously, so I think they've just retooled the flavour, but tried to keep it similar to normal Monster. So that's what we're going to aim for today. Is it like normal Monster, or is it something that tastes completely alien and really isn't what people at the time were looking for? And still are looking for, because I'm sure there's some people want that exact flavour with 0 sugars, So let's see. I don't have this drink very often, guys. It's never been my favourite. I think it loses its fizz very quickly, and I prefer the ultras in terms of the 0 sugar, but look, I'll give it a try. With this one, guys, my goodness, I'm so sorry. With this one, it kind of hits you like the first taste of it you get always reminds me of like bubblegum almost. As weird as that sounds, it's not sweet, it's not very intense, it's kind of like toned down, but I really do get that sort of like bubblegum flavour to it that I'm so sure is not, it's not intended to be like bubblegum. But yeah, that's definitely the flavour that I get from it. it's something that after you've had it, the taste kind of like, you can see almost that it kind of is like normal Monster. There's sort of that attempt to get the flavor, but it's just not quite. It's just not quite right. Now that said, I'm not, and I will do a review of it at some point. I'm not the biggest fan of normal Monster as a general thing, you know, of the original. As much as they say, you know, you can't beat the OG Monster and all those there things. It's something that I've never been the biggest fan of, so I almost prefer this. But it's definitely not, you know, it's definitely not what's really meant to be, you know, like taking out the sugar and getting the exact same taste, because it's definitely not the same. But I'm fond of it, guys. I have to be honest with you. You know, you get a strange sort of aftertaste to it. You get like a kind of taste in your mouth as if, like, I don't know, as if you really haven't actually had, you know, as if you haven't had a drink. It just sort of leaves this kind of like, I don't really know how to describe it. It leaves this kind of, I don't want to say sterile again, which I said in my Sonic video, but it does leave that like an aftertaste that is, I don't really know. I'm sorry guys, I really shouldn't have went on this tangent. It leaves an aftertaste that I don't like. Put it that way. But overall, you know, as a standalone drink, I can't be too insulting to it. But then again, there is that aftertaste again, so maybe I can be too insulting to it. But to me, Absolutely Zero is, you know, again, like like I said at the start of this video, you really, like, to me, there is a quality to Monster. Don't get me wrong, there's a quality to Red Bull, there's a quality to all the energy drinks in the market that are considered good, but you really notice whenever you've had a cheap energy drink that's not very good, and then you switch to Monster. It's kind of like, it really is like night and day, to be honest with you guys. So I do like Absolutely Zero. It's not something that I usually pick out on the shelf, but it's a solid enough addition to the Monster range. It was their very first ever sugar-free energy drink, as we've discovered today. In a very, like, a very well very well researched manner, of course, you know. Um, so it is like their very first attempt. I think it's a strong addition. You know, it's lasted a long time. I don't know what I don't know what the retooling is that's going on with the flavor, but to me, you know, you have to give it a bit of credit. I am a fan of Absolutely Zero, and I'm gonna give it a first ever, because I don't want to give it a 3, but I want to distance it as far away from that terrible Sonic energy drink as possible. I'm going to give it a 2.75 out of 5. So now we're getting into quarters with my ratings. So eventually I'm going to be like the guys who do, like, I had a new bang flavor and it's a 69 out of 100. Yeah, I have to give it a 2.75 out of 5. It's not incredible, but it's got that quality. Like I said, I touched on it. It does lose its fizz very quickly in my mind. It's something you need to drink quick whenever a lot of Monsters tend to be the sort of flavors that you're really supposed to nurse. You know, like I think the original Monster, something like that, where it's not the most incredible flavor to it, but it's something that you have to you know, you nurse throughout the day. You sip. For this, I'm so sorry guys, for this it isn't possible. You need to drink it quick. I'll be finishing it before I leave the house, but it is a solid addition to the Monster range, and fair play to them for trying. So 2.75 out of 5. I'm gonna leave now, guys. I'm gonna blow out my candle. I got work today in about 20 minutes. So I'll love you all and leave you, but thank you very much for watching my review. It's still snowy in the UK, there's still storms coming, so take care of yourselves, everybody, as usual, and I'll talk to you all again after a while. Okay, thank you.